Bro,
live, man.
Baller alert. 2 minutes ago, Whack 100 claims Item 22 was picked up by the feds.
Yeah, yo, speak on that, man.
Wow, this is like this so late. Like I already like went on stream last night and told the exact story, but they're still running with yesterday's news. That's crazy.
Wait, okay, so you did tell a story about being talked to. That was the first time.
That was the only contact I've had was the situation that I described last night, where basically the feds came.
Yeah.
All they wanted to do was drop off the subpoena for the cease and desist. So
where did Wack get the "you were locked up" thing at?
I don't know. He was just trolling, and then they just ran with it. They made a clip out of it. It is what it is. It's not. There was. I didn't even have communication with anybody in order to turn over anything. All I want is like one email. So to me, it's like pretty simple, cut and dry thing. You know, it's like my lawyer did tell me like you probably should not antagonize them, which I had no plans on. But
I mean,
that's my one note is do not antagonize the feds.
Well,
although I don't know
I'll
what
be
that
fresh
would really
as hell if the feds are watching me in fashion.
Probably nobody likes that lyric more than them, though. You know,
Yeah.
like that's a iconic.
and that
lyric for
Snapchat
them.
didn't really help, right?
What?
Red Nike tag, you feel me? like that right there is like the epitome of attacking.
No, it was not.
That's not that bad.
Making a joke about the fact that I was dressed like a bum sitting around the house all day.
Antagonizing.
No
would be-
offense, since you are wearing the exact same thing that I was wearing. at
No,
the time.
no, right? You had on like the.
I had the red one. You got the black one.
Oh yeah.
Antagonizing would be saying like the feds ain't got shit. I'll never fucking turn on the homies.
Yeah.
Fuck these fools. That's antagonizing.
But I don't feel like we view, like, outside of Brick Baby and maybe Loose Cannon, I don't feel like we really view anybody else who's indicted as a homie, right?
I mean, me and Luce didn't talk for like 2 months prior to the arrest. But obviously, yeah, Brick.
Yeah.
Big U.
That's your homie?
That ain't my problem.
Okay. Well,
he got his own shit going on. He got plenty of people to look out for him. They don't need me on the list. But yeah, it is funny that this is like the no jumper Rico because there's one no jumper employee.
Well, Loose Cannon was
a half
an employee
and
at
a
that
half
point.
employee.
One
That
and a third.
nigga a third of an employee.
Yeah,
Loose
one and a
Cannon
third.
been on the podcast 3 times, never got paid by us.
Yeah, but he was such like just
part of the
ingrained in the
No
fabric
Jumper
of like the
universe,
storylines. It's kind of like
That's true.
Like he's an honorary employee.
Is it
He's in
safe
the No
to say
Jumper
that
universe.
that Wack just saw your IG story where you're like, oh, the feds paid me a little visit, and then ran with the narrative that you got picked up?
Actually, to be totally real,
What do you mean?
He called me. I told him exactly what the Fed said. I told him like, don't say anything. And then his way of not saying anything is to call into the news and basically put forth a completely misleading narrative because he just loves to cause chaos and everything. And from my perspective, okay, let's go viral. Sure, post whatever. I don't care.
It did help though, right?
Y'all seen my face in here
Like,
when that
little
nigga Wack was on the phone.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, if I was arrested, I feel like,
Like,
you guys
bro,
would
that
probably
nigga at
know.
home, bro. No way.
An agent of beautiful chaos.
Wait, if you were arrested, right, and for some reason you couldn't access your account, which employee do you think will go above and beyond to make sure that you are straight and try to bail you out? And
Probably Josh working with my
Okay.
wife would be my guess.
Yeah, okay, but Josh is not fair. Okay, so
That's the
let's
most
just
realistic
next up.
answer.
So yeah, Brick suspect, me,
What's the
Lush.
question?
They gotta bail me out. I don't expect anyone to bail me out.
Yeah, or at least attempt to. Meaning, like, if the nigga don't got it, he don't got it. But at least attempt to bail you out.
Nah, I'm gonna leave it to my girl.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Bro, he's a fucking millionaire.
No,
Nah.
okay. No,
Suspect, what you gonna do if Adam wants you to bail you out?
I
Well,
used
the
to-
hypothetical was if
any
you
of
couldn't
us.
access none of your money.
yeah,
Mhm.
she got money. She can handle it.
Okay.
Nobody's
fuck
gonna
you
be
to
more
call up
concerned
for?
with getting me out than her. So
Okay.
she could probably just jump
And
in
next
there.
hypothetical, I will make sure to
Let's do
I
all
definitely pull.
hypotheticals for this whole podcast. So
Yeah.
let's say that you were bent over, lubed up,
Yeah.
getting penetrated by a
600.
guy, and he coughed. What would you do?
Wait, Lush, you want to
600.
sit here? Sure. Yeah, because he's too big.
I
To
feel,
sit.
yeah, he might be a little too big
that
for
mean?
the
You
stool.
lost weight too, though, man.
Yeah, you do look a little tinier. What's going on? You stressed out?
Wait, how you lose weight before like you about to fight? Oh my god, like let's go, champ.
Oh, Shannon Briggs.
You're gonna fight him?
Yeah, I'm gonna fight Shannon Briggs.
What?
I mean,
he was on the
listen,
podcast a few years ago.
You too light right now, man. You got to gain a little bit more,
Oh,
man.
no,
Because
this
he's a big boy.
This is kind of baggy. I'm still 280.
No, but the legs too. It looks a little skinny.
Here you go with this shit.
I'm
Come on.
280.
That's where you went
Huh?
too far.
Everybody who comes on the
280?
podcast gets a body evaluation by
Every
Flacco.
time.
It's actually really
No,
a cool
because
free bonus.
listen, because I know
You
him
love
to be.
men's body.
No, I know him to be.
The
Love
male
man
physique. The male
You
physique.
fucking
No,
spit it
bro.
out before I could.
I
No
know
cap.
Six to be a girthy boy. So
Here you-
so when he.
Whoa!
Nah, come on, bro.
Whoa.
Wait.
Girthy just
I
means
was trying to
bigger,
bro.
reply it
Bro.
today. And he
Okay.
just won't. I can't. Doing shit like that, I can't. Pause.
Okay, what's like the non-gay word? Chubby.
Yeah,
You
you
ain't
know,
really said nothing
girthy
gay
boy
yet.
is gay.
But you ain't really saying nothing gay yet, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Gay
it's
just
really
means
gay
like
about
broad,
that.
yeah, big a little bit.
But
Yeah.
even if you was talking about the actual thing, that's
Yeah.
not gay. Gay has to be like doing something. You're just
Exactly.
talking about, size. You can say,
Facts.
if you say I'm handsome, I'm not gonna be like insecure and
Facts.
say, well, who are you talking to?
So a random person, you walk into a room and a random grown man was like, "Hey, you know what? You're a handsome guy."
Yeah, I ain't got a problem with
He is
Calling
handsome.
a nigga girthy is crazy.
Yeah. No, and also too, though, loose cannon said.
girthy
Yeah.
is crazy.
Okay. Oh, listen.
Girth
Sure.
is a word that people typically only use
Use
for
for
one
dick.
thing.
That's
Right,
a cock.
right.
That's
That's
a
crazy.
cock
that. That's
describer.
not what it means, though.
It's not technically
just for
the only,
that, but that's usually
but
what
that's
you
what he
use it for.
does. He comes right up to the line of being as gay as
Mhm,
possible, and then
mhm.
people say it's gay, and he's like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
but he's a handsome guy, and part of him being handsome is the hair. But 600.
The hair.
Bro,
Loose cannon
He's
said
getting
that you
worse
got
and worse by the minute.
Loose cannon said that you got a lace front. Speak on that, man, because he did say that.
He just be talking, man.
Okay.
Baby hairs on fleek.
Yeah, he just be
Crazy.
talking.
Nigga, Flacco be
How you
fucking
get-
my head up, bro.
How you get a lace front?
Right, again, because I did see you like grow out your hair in various stages.
Well,
so
see,
I
like
didn't
I
really
say,
see
when
it.
I get my braids, I get an added extension. I get an added hair. It's not like a lace front. I could take the whole thing off. That's a lace front.
Oh, so you do got a
Oh,
little bit of
okay,
help.
okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
wondering that too. I'm
He
like,
wasn't
didn't he have
lying.
like no
Yeah,
hair
okay.
the other day?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. So when they braid it, they add in like a little extra.
Okay,
Okay.
You know
that's
how
cool.
y'all was talking about girth. This is like length, not girth.
Yeah.
But is this part of you entering like the witness protection program that you just got like a fancy new haircut so people won't recognize you?
Witness protection. Like I don't get it. Like I'm
They're
live,
after
like-
you, man.
But who?
Listen, like the internet YouTubers, man, bro. They've been doing 5-hour live streams about
Well,
you,
that's
man.
the thing, man. Like I appreciate all the YouTube like commenters, trollers, haters,
Yeah.
fake stalkers, fake ops, because that just keep everything going.
Mm.
As far as in the real world, I'm not beefing with nobody like that. You feel me?
Okay.
Like even me and Biggie, our little beef. I mean, we know where each other reside at, and we stay in our own lane. He stay in his lane, I stay in my lane. So it ain't like, I'm looking for him and he looking for me.
But okay, is the sense on the streets that there's a ton of people mad at you about the recent RICO, or is the sense of like, oh no, the big bad boss man is gone, so now we can live our freedom?
That too. So the first part you said was, let's talk about it. So it was information that was leaked to the family of the deceased kid, right?
Uh-huh.
And I guess the detectives or whoever told the family, do not tell this information to anybody,
Right.
right? And that left the mother to Whack, to me, and the internet.
Mm.
So I got the information from the internet, the Whack and the mother, stuff like that, and I rehearsed it online on my channel and YouTube and on everything else, right? So, people in the streets know I haven't spoken on anything that's not already out there.
Mm.
But the haters, the 600 haters and Whack 100 haters, man, y'all talk about open case. What y'all trying to get him in jail? I don't have no information on the case. But what the feds released to the family, that was online. That's all we got.
I don't see how anyone could really call serious question into it, because I mean, think about when King Von got killed. Academics on stream an hour later, breaking the whole thing down, watching the video over and
Right.
over, pinpointing exactly what was going on. What you did is really not anything different than what you would have done, what I would be
No,
totally
it's-
comfortable doing. The only difference is that you were just very, very early. You got in
Right.
to discussing it at a point where everybody thought it sounded kind of crazy. Biggie, you got a murder charge coming, whatever. Like, it was so mind-blowing to people. You deserve credit, I think. And the only reason you're getting shit for it, though, is because you actually come from a street background.
That's the
Right.
biggest
That's what I was
difference.
finna-
That's
I
the
was finna
difference.
Say, do you consider yourself an active member?
Active now.
Because that's the only question. If a nigga consider himself an active member, I
Yeah.
think that all that shit crazy.
Right.
Being on
So-
camera, you know what I'm saying? If a nigga not an active member, then what can we say?
A lot of street members don't like talking about open cases, period, right?
Mm.
No matter if it's public information or not. And it's a weird rule, but it's a lot of like knocks to the actual rules of the streets. So if you look at it, it was 2 reasons why we put that out there. Number one, dude got to get exposed, because these guys have things going on and play a position and get certain things that benefits or whatever they're doing and not be exposed and fooling people. That's number one. Number two, it's public information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And actually, number 3, we had to put that out there as still street dudes or acquaintances of street people that, bro, listen, they got information on you. They told their family they're coming to get you between these dates. Go get a good lawyer.
Wait
coming.
though.
You don't feel like you should let the streets
Nah,
handle that?
But hold on.
nah.
Hold on, you see how they came and got
Yeah.
it. Now, if we got this information,
Yeah.
We got the work.
if we
Yeah.
got the information and we didn't tell Big U, that's cooperating with the law enforcement because they said do not tell nobody. Dude might get a lawyer, get little, and run.
Yeah.
You
And
see
it's
what I'm
actually
saying?
in the RICA or in the charges that dropped today, they actually specifically mentioned the fact that Big U recorded the video before he actually turned himself in, where he basically told everybody not to cooperate with the cops, with anybody, which is very notable. Like, that's something your
Right.
lawyer wouldn't have told
Sure.
you to say, because to you it might make perfect sense. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to tell your homies, like, don't mess with them or whatever. But then that starts to look like a very serious crime when you view it through the eyes of the law.
No, but here's the difference though between what, let's say, me and academics would do and what, again, I support y'all doing y'all shit, right? But there's a difference, and there's a difference, okay? So Wack did say here that he purposely played the audio clip of the mom telling him that Big U would be arrested on this day.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to give 600 plausible deniability to talk about it publicly. That's one. 2 is this. Yo, again, if you wanted to reach him publicly, privately, if the goal was, yo, we want to warn you, yo, like, y'all are members, right? Like, y'all could have reached them privately, but I do feel like it was more so towards we trying to expose this nigga for being this. Because if the real goal was, hey, bro, we trying to warn you,
You would call him.
you would just reach him privately.
Oh no, he did that off the record. Like he.
But then why posted it?
No,
Right,
no,
that was
no.
all
That-
he
no,
had to
no.
do if he needs to be aware.
Before it went online, we
Yeah.
know about it.
Okay.
Before it went online, I even spoke about online. He already was reaching out, and he backed that and showed the screenshots
Sure.
of the timestamp of him texting his wife, like, "Hey, listen, they got
Yeah.
this, that, and the other." Just like March 2nd, March 3rd.
Sure, of course.
So he was already reaching out to them directly, like, "Listen, this is what they got. I'm give you for a warning."
Of course.
My job, I got to expose, dude. And-
Got you.
And,
Got-
and
yeah.
you know what? He really put a black eye in the game for guys coming home rehabilitated, coming home from prison, changing their life,
Yeah.
and giving back to the community. Because now they're gonna look at guys different. Like,
Yeah.
hold on,
That's where you right at.
you know, we put Big U in this position with nonprofit organizations, things for the youth, things for the kids, giving back jobs, giving back. And this guy has a murder charge, RICO charge, stuff like that. So a lot of guys are going to be looking crazy, like, man, I'm not like Big U. I really rehabilitated.
Because
He's saying it's a
I
black
really-
guy on prison.
there's a lot
reform.
of dudes I know who are like former street dudes or current street dudes, and they got a nonprofit and they're still in the hood. And for sure, I always thought that they were probably scams, but now
It's
I look at the Big U thing and I'm like, aha, I knew it. Now I'll never call them out.
Yeah.
I hope they get away with it forever. But
It's scams.
for sure, like, that
Wow.
seems like if you know someone who really got that scammer criminal mind state,
Yeah.
that shit is not just gonna go away once you get a charity going. Like, if you don't understand the risks of taking money straight out of your charity and just putting it into your bank account, which is probably like the dumbest thing that you could
Yeah,
possibly do. If you really wanted to embezzle it, you would probably do something a little bit
Smart way.
more artful, where you, like, pretended to buy a bunch of stuff and sell it to another company you want. Whatever. There's all kinds of stuff you could probably do that I wouldn't really necessarily think of that Big U probably could have done if he really wanted to embezzle all this money. That would have taken significantly more work, but he didn't do any of that.
$42 million. Again, the city of Los Angeles allocated $42 million to the GRID program. The majority of that went directly into the hands of gang leaders.
Mm.
So I'm saying at some point, us as people of LA, we have to say, okay, there's a huge issue with this. That tens of millions of dollars is going into the hands of gang leaders, and we're just saying back, hey, yeah, okay, that's a good use of our tax dollars.
We should tell Doge.
Oh, that's true. Elon, hey, Elon, bro, tap in.
It's not federal, but
tap in,
yeah.
Elon.
look,
I disagree
Yeah.
because you gotta realize too, though, that I think you're right because there's always going to be an abuse of power with shit like that in certain cases. But I always say, bro, niggas who really outside and niggas who really gang bang, the only people they gonna listen to is the nigga who really gang bang.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
And not listening to nobody else.
That's true.
If a nigga not really outside, because the first thing they think is you ain't stepped in the shoes I've been, you a civilian, you gotta be from there, you know what I'm saying, a little older with some respect for them niggas to listen to you. So it's like, who else do you give the money to if you gonna rehabilitate these niggas?
Yeah,
who else do you give it to?
100%. Michelle Pfeiffer and Dangerous
You know,
Minds.
like,
Is
who
gonna
else?
save the youth.
It's kind of hard. Who
Love
else you
that
give
movie.
it to?
My bad. It just goes back to what we just said about like it makes you question everything now. You know, it makes you question all this stuff because he had the opportunity to change things and set a good example, but now he put a black guy in it, so it's like I don't know.
Okay, wait. The when we did that last interview, which was probably like a little over a year ago, I'm guessing. You saw Brick. You guys took a picture together. Big U gets super mad after that. But how long had you been out of communication with Big U at that point? Because there is this one video that I always think about where it was you and Big U in a backyard or something, and he was kind of like making you say stuff that was almost like you pledging your loyalty to him and the set and whatnot. And it kind of had the same vibes as like, remember the clip of Justin Bieber when his car broke down in the hood?
Well,
When he had to
it
sing,
break down.
when he was singing for fools outside the
Not
PJs.
saying that you're on Bieber's level, but you know, it kind of felt like you didn't want to be
Make
there
us
and you
crazy.
weren't really feeling it and you were kind of just going along with it. But that was an awkward video. Like, so was that was the last time you guys were ever really around each other?
We were together a little shortly after that. So what that was, it was a situation to where it was a lot of talking going on in my neighborhood, and it was like 5, 6 people on the phone.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you know what? Let's just pull up. You know, let's figure all that. We all at. I'm on such and such such street. I'm on my way. I speed over there. He speed over there. The other 4 or 5 people didn't show up, so it's just me and him. So we get there. He like, come on. I'm like, come on, what? Like, come on, like let's fight. I'm like, bro, I'm not here to fight you, bro.
Oh boy, that would be an epic squabble for the ages.
Right. So I'm like, bro, no, what them busters that who was on that phone popping it? And I said, let's all pull up and figure it out. So we talked about what we talked about. And I said, all right, man, pull your phone out, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go live, talk your stuff, how you do it, make sure you add me. So I'm just a loyal, little homie, loyal type of dude, you know what I mean? Who, no matter what's going on, I'ma still show loyalty. And I said in the video, I said, listen, any of y'all busters got any problem, we could pull it up. We could pull up right now. All y'all popping, all this talking y'all doing, we were just on the phone. Where y'all at? And that's really what that was. You know what I mean?
Yo, I feel like the biggest narrative that I've seen and online is, and this is like honest question too, man. Do you feel like because the mom said, yo, don't say nothing because the feds want this to be kind of, you feel me? If she says, yo, like late March, early April, and Big U, I think I picked up like the 18th or 19th, right? So do you feel like putting that out early got him arrested earlier?
I don't know. Like I said, I never talked to detectives. You know what I'm saying? But
No,
I mean, but you just never really know.
Yeah, fact.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, like I said,
And do you feel
it was
guilty?
private
It was probably.
information.
Yeah.
It was private information.
Yeah.
To prevent whatever they was trying to prevent. But we went against law enforcement's, you know.
Yeah, because what if Big U had hopped on a plane and he was just in France right now or somewhere where they wouldn't extradite him, like Russia, Big U in Russia,
Right.
like Edward Snowden or something. Like, I mean, that could have happened. We could have never got any sort of justice if that was the case, which, you know, the average person wouldn't care about, but for the family of the kid who got killed,
but to them, though,
upsetting.
They don't want the justice. They just, again, so
free them niggas, man.
But the plan was to warn him beforehand. So that's why I'm asking, if the warning him got him arrested sooner, then one would ask, okay, y'all are really intelligent. Like, again, like, you are a really smart nigga. Yeah. So somebody can say, oh, maybe this was like a diabolical, like, double play, which is, I'm putting it out early to quote unquote warn you publicly, but in fact, I'm just making sure the feds pick you up sooner.
Well, we can't make sure they pick him up sooner.
Yeah.
We don't know. We'll never know that. You know what I'm saying? We was never in contact with him.
Facts.
Like, we'll never know that. But, you know, they gave approximate dates, and they hit on them approximate dates. You know, I think we put the information out too late.
Damn, for real?
I mean, he got caught.
Mm.
That's
Unless
true.
he didn't believe us.
Yeah,
You know, I don't think nobody be lying about no stuff like that. You know,
But
and-
too late for what? Because like, what would he have
I
done
mean,
if
he
he knew
coulda-
about it a month in advance? Besides just be
I
scared.
mean, he could have left and run and
Nah,
save
bro.
away some money.
If you're being watched, bro, as soon as you purchase a plane ticket out of town,
Obviously, he
it's
got
over
away for a half a day, right?
well, he probably drove away, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So obviously, it's not like they got him on a monitor or something. He
Oh,
could
yeah, that's true.
moved away. He was a fugitive at one point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, right. He could have drove to Mexico, but if he would have attempted to use that passport to like book a flight, it would
But
have
you
been
could
over.
at least like,
Maybe,
and then like we get to that second, like he went out all bad. Like the way he went out was like, you know, bad. But I mean, you could have bought yourself some time and figure it out, and lawyer and money, and you know, grab your women or your wife or whatever you got going, have some fun, and get some meals or whatever, you know, just because you go. I mean, you're a fugitive by the FBI anyway.
Yo, when you heard the surrender video where he said you might as well get whacked at 600. Like, what's your thoughts?
Complete snitching, bro.
Nah, he didn't mean it like that, man.
You're telling the FBI to go get whacking 600. So let me tell you why a lot of my people in my neighborhood are finally realizing that, you know, 600 Eddie Boy was right. So 31 years ago now, 94, he caught a case with Eddie Boy, his crime. They did a robbery, whatever they did. I think it was a sting. Leaving the robbery when they got caught, it's in the paperwork, quote for quote. I'm trying to say it the same way it's in the paperwork. Man, I should never went to work for Eddie. And that statement alone is in the paperwork, is the reason why Eddie Boy got charged with conspiracy. So my point I'm saying is that when he gets under pressure, he just starts snitching, throwing things out there. It's the same exact thing.
No, but I did hear that before, and because again, I always heard from like street dudes because Thug is in the same situation where I was always told we can't trust the police. So if it's not in a signed statement or on recorded, we can't trust the police saying that I said this.
Oh no. See, what happened was that statement actually came to court. His lawyer actually repeated the statement. They asked him his lawyer actually asked that he didn't get the opportunity to make a full statement, and never denied the statement. Never denied him making the statement. The statement is in the paperwork.
Can we get a quick statement from Rich Trapper, who's calling in right now? Rich Trapper, what you got to say?
Bro, get that car chaser off.
First and foremost, I for the first time in life, I got to give Flacco some credit for asking a real question.
Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. You a cloud chaser, bro. Like, bro, I would talk to this nigga, man. Like, yeah, bro. Like, bro, we don't
let him cook.
Let him cook.
Bro, he's a nobody.
Let him cook.
He's
giving you credit.
I forgot you guys are beefing like that. Wait, all right. We're gonna give you a little. What you got to say?
But I'm here to talk about my slow cousin you got up there. You sit here and just said that you put that information out to one big you, but that don't make no sense because everything that's going out is in this indictment. So how are you warning him about him being a Fed fugitive on a run? That's harboring, aiding, abetting the fugitive and obstruction of justice. So how the fuck you not in that indictment?
Bro, I haven't broken no laws, bro. What is he talking about?
It's putting information out from
well, listen, I didn't put the information out.
Go ahead and feed into it, bro, because he's about to go make a little bit of.
Oh yeah. But what he doesn't understand is that I never put the information out. I got the information out from online.
In real life, that's really my cousin. Bro, this nigga
why does dude keep saying he's my
Don't you gotta go fuck niggas on Grindr, bro? You fucking boy.
That was a good point.
Yo, bro, you fucking gay bitch.
We don't even know this dude's name.
Bro, you fuck punks on Grindr, my nigga.
He does.
We don't give a fuck about your opinion on street shit, nigga. You fuck punks, nigga. Nigga, you got caught looking for white punks on Grindr, nigga.
Yes,
shut your bitch ass, bro. We don't give a fuck about your opinion, my nigga. Bro, you lost. Listen, bro, you lost all privilege to comment on street shit, bro. Once we seen you asking to suck niggas' dicks on Grindr, bro.
That's bad.
Stop it, my nigga.
That's bad work.
And you can't cap because you record all your videos that you react to off your phone, nigga. And again, in that screen recording off your phone, nigga.
It was the editor.
In the Grindr app, text niggas to suck dick, nigga. Shut your gay ass up, bro.
One last statement from
Bro, gay ass nigga, man.
What's your outro statement here?
My outro statement is let the record reflect.
Use a gay
Adam
bitch.
had the top 5 sitting over there. Remo replaced Flacco, and Flacco been hating on Remo ever since the snitch hunted the cop. Adam,
bro, weakness. Look again.
Whoa, Remo
again,
versus
gay
Flacco.
niggas, man.
New narrative just dropped.
Again,
Sorry
no.
about that. I forgot you guys were ops like that.
Again, bro. This is what gay niggas do. All right,
bro.
That's your
It's
cousin?
his DNA.
No, listen.
Why does he keep calling you? He said it 4 times.
That's
And
like
in
a
a
little
super
Reese
chat.
J-Main.
I've never met that guy before.
Hey, that nigga funny as
I
fuck.
never met him. I don't even know his name. he called me.
Third cousin twice removed.
Cannon tried to call with him on the phone one time. Somebody, man, who's my cousin? I said, why you keep saying my cousin? I never met you before, bro. I don't even know your name.
Damn.
How are you my cousin? I've never met you.
Damn.
I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
But like I say, I don't let it
funny
bother
as
me. But I got all kind of like trollers and people want to say they know me.
Yeah, bro. Listen, yo. If I'm you, bro, right now, you're in a position right now, bro, where like, bro, you have like, bro, clips of you on Twitter with like 10 million views. I'm not responding back to no nigga like that, bro. You feel me?
Listen,
Like not in his lifetime.
I've never responded to him.
Yeah.
He made 1,000 videos. He got to make 6,000 to get a response.
600. I got a question, bro.
What's up, Les?
So with all the trolling, you know what I mean, with hashtag Crip Cop, you know what I mean, and all that.
He's wearing the fucking the police badge.
Yeah, exactly. You got
security badge.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot of ambiguity between what's content and what's real, and I think to this day, a lot of us are having a hard time distinguishing.
Like, you know what? If you guys are having
a lot of the shit you do, it just make me personally, I just be like, damn, this nigga be doing police ass shit.
Yeah, compared to this guy that we're talking to right now, absolutely.
And I want to thank y'all because y'all let me know I'm doing an excellent job.
Yeah.
You know, that's my point. When I make my skits, my videos, I want to see as real as possible. You know, the police wouldn't get in my videos. You know, I couldn't wear LAPD because it's actually against the law to impersonate an officer. So I had to get a regular police hat, not an LAPD hat. So, you know, they couldn't be in my videos. So I was really, really trying to make it look like I was a police to, you know, I'm an actor. You know what I'm saying?
No, and you're a good one.
So you know, I want to thank y'all for thinking like my boy just said, you doing some police ass shit. So I want to thank y'all because I'm doing a good job at being an actor.
So like what your pops was not like an officer from the 77th Division and all that?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, like I say, all these things going around. Somebody said, I think Brick Baby said, he didn't go to his dad's funeral because Big U was there.
Yeah, we heard a bunch of people say that.
Yeah.
But
I never heard that no 600 dad stories. That's new to me.
Well, is there any truth to that, or did you go to the funeral?
My dad didn't even have a funeral.
Oh, well, they just didn't have a ceremony, or they cremated him, or
cremated?
Oh,
didn't have a funeral.
Wow, that's a wild narrative.
He has a sharp left turn.
All that is new.
I forget exactly how Brick definitely reiterated it, but I feel like somebody might have said it before that. But I've seen a bunch of people sort of repeat it since then.
Yeah, so like I said, I actually like all that stuff because it just brings more attention to me. The good thing about me is that, you know, it doesn't get under my skin, so it doesn't bother me. Like, this is my guy, he real nigga, right? So it doesn't bother me for him to say you doing police shit. I'm acting the script.
Yeah.
If it looked fake, that I did a horrible job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got people calling me from the pen right now. Man, they saying all the 6-0 saying you the police. You the I don't care what nobody in jail said about me, bro.
Yo, do you feel like podcast culture, like for example, man, in like 2014, there was like this lore about like the LA scene, right? And gang culture and the characters. 2025 is like, yo, when you ask people like, let's say like academics or like Joe Budden or like others, when they talk about the LA scene, that lore is completely gone. Do you feel like the podcast scene, like, or like podcasting has ruined like the lore and the value that people used to see in LA culture?
I'm gonna say yeah, no. I'm gonna say yeah because you only get what you see online.
Yeah.
People aren't coming to the inner city of LA. It's not too many rappers who are on, you know, globally. It's not too much stuff going on like real documentaries showing the real gang life, the gang culture. You really only see who's the most viral, whether it be a podcaster or Square or somebody with a police hat on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really seeing the real inner city stuff go viral like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna make it look different to the outsiders.
I remember back like because it's the internet in general. Because I remember the first time that I realized that there were websites that straight up just listed off every gang and like had all the ins and outs of that shit just listed on some random website. And I remember just being blown away, like, holy crap, this stuff exists out there. Because
streetgangs.com.
Before that, wait, they had the
that was like the main one.
Streetgangs.com.
That was the main one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Every hood in LA, if your hood's not on streetgangs.com,
niggas be like,
not active.
They'll tell you the origins, the alliances, who they beef with, where it's from. And
fools are in the comments like, yo, fuck.
But then it becomes social media, and it's like I've seen this happen in a lot of other, you know, lanes. Like I'll be like, it's kind of a corny comparison, but in the BMX and skate world, it used to be like people would have like a rail that they knew about, and it would be such a big secret. And if you put it in a video, you would blur out. If you can see a sign that made it clear where it is. Now you got dudes who got Instagram accounts where if you pay $5 a month, they'll air out the address to every single spot. So there's just like
we gotta bring that back.
This thing that used to be this secretive language that we were also protective of is now like whatever. Like everything is just out there. And the podcast thing is just like a way more extreme version of those websites that we were talking about that used to just list off gang stuff, and now it's like, oh no, you can really see these dudes in person talking about it, and in some cases confessing to shit that they will then eventually be charged with.
No, listen,
subcultures are on blast now.
Bro, listen, I was 12 years old on YouTube in my North Dakota home watching Bosco and Rosemo beef, like on YouTube, and like shit like that was like, yo, who are these mystical figures, right? But now in 2025, like, bro, we pretty much done seen every like reputable like gang member that, you know, that's like that, really, you know, and on the podcast, or sorry, most of them. And when they open their mouth,
that's not true at all.
No, most of them, right?
There's a lot that's not even close to true.
But that is a good amount.
It's a good amount.
But the ones that we care about, meaning, right?
Again,
that's
some
joints.
Right?
Yeah. There's still a lot of real shit going on with people who would never dream of getting on camera.
Right. And when we see them and on podcasts, bro, right when they open up their mouth, they lose their entire mystique and lore, because like just
for sure,
right when they speak, you know, like they're probably, you know, like their, I guess, like their ignorance, you know, like they're probably like laughing, they're goofy, right? So once we see you in a manner in which you're like acting a little bit goofy, you know, making jokes a little bit, it's kind of like, this ain't the person I thought you was. You feel me?
Right. You want a nigga. I don't know if you ever been around niggas who be popping niggas, but they not always just mad.
No, sure.
You know, like niggas who kill people be having like different emotions too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They like ice cream.
Gotta just be like,
what he was saying is that certain people, you look at them a certain way, maybe the way they dress or talk or look or tattoos, whatever, and you would think they're just a certain type of person. But when you get to them in a regular environment where you're happy and cracking jokes, it's like, oh, okay, you're not really that much of a threat. Like, it's cool. Like, right.
And I think that's the wrong thought, because you'll have a nigga fucked up because he crack a joke and he'll still kill
that too.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying every nigga. Now some niggas will get up here, put up in front, and then you get around and you be like, that is not like the nigga I see you on the internet. But some niggas, there's different facets to people. They're not all just one way. So you'll have a nigga completely misconstrued. He had a face tats. He really do these things, but he having a good day. And you'll be like, man, this nigga's soft. He'll fuck around and kill you.
No, many a time I have found out after the fact, I'm like, oh, that guy's a killer?
He kill people.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. It don't be who you see. If we see history, all the serial killers in the world, the majority of them, good looking dudes. All they neighbors, when you see little interviews, they be like, we would have never thought he was the nicest neighbor.
Ted Bundy was slaying Poon, super mild-mannered, good-looking dude.
From your eyes, you know? A lot of people, you can't tell, but I think you are right about niggas. You'll hear about them, think about them a certain way, and then you'll put them on a certain kind of pedestal because you just hear about them, and then you'll see him in a 2-hour interview, and you're like, man, that nigga not so mean.
And if you really want to be a slider, if you really want to be the guy who's spinning and putting in work for your hood, then you probably should not be on camera. Now, granted, like most of the dudes we're talking about are not in their 20s. They're in their 40s.
Right.
They've been around for a long time. They're the kind of people that we're all assuming are not doing shit. But, you know.
But that's what really sucks, is that these are the dudes that have been putting in work for so long, had this whole like substantial career of gangsterism, and then in their 40s or whatever, they wind up, like you said,
internet, like Big Meech. Big Meech was a mystical figure. 2 weeks online, he's now a buster. Like, ain't that crazy, bro?
But hold on, before we go too far off, back to what we're saying. But 9 times out of 10, all that fake tough image is not really like that, you know, because you got to put all that into your image. The guys who really like that don't have to really go extra out to really do that, because you know what's up. But people who are like hiding something and don't want to be exposed or marked out or challenged, they put up like a guard. It's like female stuff. Like they really want to look tough and talk tough and tat everything up and be super cripped out or whatever.
I never got that shit. Like, I'm not putting nothing on my face.
Right, because you ain't got to do that.
If you don't think I'm tough, I don't give a fuck what you think. But I'm not about to
and let me say one
tap
thing.
my face up to scare niggas.
But let me say one thing. I'm speaking on, you know, the older generation. Now, you can't really go by that because everybody got their face tatted.
Yep. Gotcha.
But before, when people getting all that stuff, you ain't got to do that. It's like you trying to scare someone for no reason. But now you really can't judge them because that's the new trend. Everybody got their face tatted.
I ain't gonna lie though. Some niggas back then though, where niggas had their face tatted, you be like, oh, This nigga pop shit. But it got to a point where niggas started hearing that. It was like, I want that mosquito. You feel me? Because in the beginning, it meant something.
It meant
you
something.
feel me?
Yeah,
for sure. But then I don't think they all. But it get to a point where niggas know what comes with certain face tats, so they'll just get it without having to do said actions.
Right.
And then it gets to the point that you have SoundCloud rappers who got their face totally blasted, nothing on the rest of their body at all.
Yeah, that's
and they're like 19 from Iowa or whatever.
He did it for his SoundCloud profile picture.
Yeah.
Because he knew
and it worked too. And they be getting $1 million deals off of basically just being a shitty rapper with a face
the neck and the face.
Or there's podcasters in their 40s getting their faces tatted. You feel me? Like
clowns.
Who did that?
Ooh. Your boy. Clowns. Niggas with the deal haircut. Nigga, the deal live.
Roger Klotz.
Rugrats. The deal Shalil.
What? Roger. The dad?
Oh, Sharp. Sharp. Okay, well, again, I know that. No, but the one dude though, where I would say, yo, I was watching like documentaries and videos about him, obsessing over him as a kid, was Munchie B. But then when I met him, it impressed me even more, right? And he's one of like the only people where when I met them, like the lore like stayed the same, meaning like, you know, bro, he acts like how I perceive him to be.
You seen him do a bunch of drive-bys or what? What are you saying? Like,
no, he just carries like for example, like him 600. Y'all carry yourself like I see y'all online, meaning like when I met Munchie, I don't think Buster. When I met 600, I don't think Buster.
He definitely don't come off as burnt out as Munchie B. Shout out Munchie B. But Munchie B texted us and said, tell 600 that statement wasn't used or admissible in court. Eddie Boy got more time because of prison priors, and we don't celebrate our black brothers getting locked away.
Freedom niggas.
You know, it's crazy.
What's your rebuttal?
I'm just tripping off how like when they all go live, like we don't comment, like we don't call in to get a piece of their live. But
we talking about the Bloods?
No, whoever, like they calling in and trying to get a piece we got going on.
That nigga said everybody calling right now. That's what the fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But
look, me personally,
I ain't got no problem with much. He probably got a problem with me though.
Look, me personally, I don't like seeing niggas in jail at all. You feel me? I feel like if you ain't touching no kids, you ain't did nothing to no women or some shit that I didn't ask for, I'd be like, but still, I feel like street justice. Let something happen to niggas in the streets. I just don't like seeing niggas in jail. Me personally, once you've been in jail, you be like, this shit's sickening. These conditionings, how they got you, and just that shit just nigga, that shit make my stomach hurt just thinking about going. Once you go, you be like, that shit. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Free Blueface right now. On my mama. I pray niggas get out tomorrow. I don't wish that shit on nobody. I don't give a fuck if I don't like you, and I don't wish that shit on.
Not to mention, it's not just you doing it.
That's crazy.
That's
just me though.
And let me say something about that too. People were saying that I was celebrating and smiling when Big U went to jail. I've been smiling before he went to jail. I'm smiling since he in jail. It ain't got nothing to do with him.
But you was a little happy though, right? To see, right?
You ain't light no cigar.
SKG was straight up.
You ain't light no cigar.
SKG said she cried
no cigar in like 2 weeks.
You ain't light no cigar when he.
I ain't light no cigar in 2 weeks. I was in the rest of the gear. I was gonna stop and get me a cigar.
Yeah,
but I wasn't like smoking the pack, and all that.
We might have some around here that Rosenberg.
You popped the champagne, didn't you, man? Come on, bro.
Rosenberg, my guy. Shout out Tony Rosenberg. That's my attorney. Nicholas Rosenberg. That's my guy.
I fuck with Rosenberg.
Shout out my attorney.
Bro, why y'all say like a Trap Kitchen Monty told, man?
I didn't say she told. I was told that everyone who's been out already to get picked up on a RICO, you have to already agree to cooperate. I never said she snitched or told. But based on what everyone said, they saying that you have to agree to cooperate to get out like that.
Yeah, bro. Because I read the paperwork, and after the feds talked to her, she called Big U and warned Big U, and she knew, like she could be, like picked up for it, but she still and told Big U and warned him. So I feel like once you're in the paperwork and the feds picked you up because you didn't come back to the station and cooperated, then I feel like it's kind of hard to really call her snitch.
The only thing I said about her was what Big U was doing his thing. What it says in paper, they were intimate. So by me exposing Big U, the people who deal with him not gonna like me for that. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So if she says something about me, it is what it is.
I think she real for that because nigga, I think she has to be scared on two sides from going to jail. And from if I call this nigga Big U, I might disappear too.
Yeah.
So I
think she real for that.
So you guys see what I'm saying? If she's basically saying the same thing y'all said, I said online and said, hey, this is what's going on. Yeah. And then you said that she called her, but she's a real one for that. But I don't know why it's so much heat on me.
I think because she was a part of the case. She called him. She a part of it. She like, nigga, I just got picked up by the feds. He could think I'm snitching. This nigga could make me disappear.
Yeah.
Or the feds could come get me, but I'm
She
gonna call
did say a little too much though, meaning like again, she did, according to the feds during the initial encounter, admitted that she does
allegedly
bring women to Big U, and he does pay, occasionally though.
She said that to the feds?
Yeah.
That's snitching.
No, but though she did say, it's not like I'm not no pimp, it's not prostitution. These are just chicks who love to have a good time. So she didn't really like
it doesn't matter.
Telltale, you feel me?
She makes
that's like saying I shot the nigga, but like I didn't really mean to.
Right. So yeah, so if that's the fact, then she's in fact a snitch.
Yeah, there's no, she didn't tell. That's how they're telling her not.
That's like
to come back.
He like be glazed or
feedback sandwich. You can't do that with snitching. Yeah.
See, I never really looked into it. It's a whole bunch of people snitched on that case, right? My main focus was exposed Big U. Like I don't really know her, so I never really looked into the statements that she made. I never really, I know other people that's on that case. The stuff that they said too. You know what I'm saying?
Who are the snitches? Because y'all, because I seen like your video where you was like, I know who y'all are.
Oh, that'll be out soon. Like I said, that's just more information that we got, that we didn't, and I'm only gonna speak on it when it go online.
Can we get 2 names?
I can't speak on it because I ain't got the extra paperwork.
Gotcha.
It'll be me just like slandering someone's name. Right
no, here's my question, right? So as a street dude, when you hear the Fed say, so Big U and somebody else, they drove to Vegas to the Airbnb with like Rayshawn Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And Big U asked Rayshawn Williams, why haven't you been recording? And Rayshawn Williams says, I don't have a ride to the studio. But Rayshawn Williams is dead and Big U ain't talked to the police because Big U, I guess, told them we ain't see each other in 6 months.
4 or 6 months. Okay.
So as a street dude, when you hear Big U and somebody else went to the Airbnb and the police now have an entire transcript of the conversation and it ain't come from Big U or like Rayshawn Williams, how do they have that conversation?
From the witness, from the snitch. It's listed in the paperwork.
And who was the witness?
Robinson, I think. It's in there.
Yeah.
I think Robinson.
Wait, ain't Robinson like, I think we know Robinson, right?
Yeah, his picture's on there. I don't want to say his name wrong, but that's the last name. Yeah. He told on the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, and he's out right now? Like he's a free man?
I don't know if he's out. I haven't looked him up. Like I said, my main focus was seeing when Big U out, when he make bail, what statements he made and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely in the paperwork.
Okay, so now that the official indictment is coming out, man, how do you think this is gonna play out? Because like when I seen the time, I was kind of shocked. They said like maximum like 20 years here, maximum 30 years here. So, I mean, I thought he was booked for murder. Like, I thought that was like a life sentence. Like, why only like 20 years is the max?
Well, see, and let me say one thing before that. When we released the information, right, that was online, we only thought he was coming to get picked up for a murder. We really forgot about the RICO stuff that we heard about. We just thought it was for the murder. The mother was talking about the information from the DNA, and they placed him out there, and 460s made statements saying that he was there. 8 of them. 8 total, 4 of them were non-affiliates. But so we just thought it was for the murder. And as far as the RICO thing came up, all these different charges, I mean, he got a lot of charges. They got money fraud, wire fraud, the RICO, interstate traffic. It's a lot. It's like 43 counts.
Yeah.
And some of them hold 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, each one of them is it's like you ain't coming home.
Yeah, but I would imagine though that like if he gives like the bigger, for example, right? If he's found guilty of the RICO and then guilty of like the wire fraud, like he's gonna serve like the largest sentence concurrently, right? So I don't feel like he's gonna do 20 plus 5 plus 10 plus 15. You feel me?
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
You're saying it's gonna be concurrent?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really know how that works. I haven't really looked into that, but just 20 to life on one of them. I mean, it's like he's 50. He's 58. Be 59.
Yeah.
He could definitely die.
Okay.
That's a lot of time on just convicted on one of them.
How I think it's kind of messed up that there's people implying that there's been implications that Brick is cooperating when there's no evidence that he has in any capacity. Like there's no black and white. There's nothing to indicate that Brick's doing anything like that. How is it okay that people are pushing that narrative?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you. I like Brick. He shoots 1,000 jabs at me, and I might do one at him, right? So, you know, when he got raided by the feds in 2023, which is in the paperwork, and they found a chopper, which is AK-47, blah, 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 whatever, right? And how he was out, you know, with no ankle monitor moving around, that raises the odds of street dudes. But people are gonna always give him the benefit of the doubt if they know him in Rockwood. Like, you know, Brick Cool, we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. We believe you ain't telling, ain't no paperwork, blah, blah, blah. But then when his story wasn't adding up about it was a DA reject, they found it, it's ongoing, it's Compton Court, he's like 7-7 division. And then when stuff come out and it's not adding up, then you remove you remove the benefit of the doubt. Like, hold on, bro. This ain't adding up. You told us such and such and such. You know what I mean? So how are you really out?
But he was
And
super eager to not have that talked about. He was very adamant, like, yo, this is an open investigation. He said on several occasions, you know,
yeah,
I think he
and
just didn't want it talked about.
so going to what you said right there, right? It leads back to where you said that he don't have a case. It was a DA reject. And then certain platforms he'll say, I got an open Fed case. Then he said he pled guilty on it.
No, right?
So
Because like for example, right? Because him being Brick and being like very again, like he's aware of like how the law works, right? So for
Mhm.
example, I think y'all said the state and the feds came. So if he see the state and the feds came, and then the state charge him, and then it's a DA reject, he's thinking, oh, okay, the feds gonna come soon, right? So like again, y'all could both be right. Like the feds could have been there too, but then the feds like take longer to build their case. So then when the feds seen the state charge, you said, no, bruh, we got him. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah, the state rejected it,
Yeah.
but the feds picked it up at the same exact time, essentially.
right,
Yeah.
right. No, it's definitely possible. But like I say, when you like not really talking about it
Mhm.
and when you don't care about it, and then you got a whole bunch of other stuff going on, people remove the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Me personally, I really don't know. I never looked into it. I don't do no business with him, so I'm not really not worried about if he's snitching or not. You know what I mean? But like I say, he throws 1,000 jabs at me, so I could throw one or two at him.
And